Hi friends, today I'm training on a new kata. Coding Meetup number 13, Higher Order Function Series, is the Meetup language diverse. This is a beta kata, so we are not like super sure is it going to be hard or not, but I can tell you that it's gonna be like a really interesting kata. In this kata, what we have to do is we have to check in our list how many different languages that like participants can code in, and check if like the highest is not more than 2 times, if the number of the most popular one is not more than 2 times higher than the number of the like least popular language in this meetup. Okay, so that's like a proxy of how the language diverse the meetup is going to be. So I think that's an excellent kata and that's very interesting. So let's try to solve it, and we always do that by first tackling the tests. Okay, so immediately press the wrong button. So as always, I am importing my expect statement from the chai assertion library, like so. Second thing, I am like selecting my vars and replacing them with consts, right? And here we go. So we have 3 lists. Okay, so probably we will have 3 tests. Yep, I am right. We have 3 tests. So I think we are ready to create our describe statement. So I describe, this is language diverse, right? Giving it a callback. And inside the callback, I will be having 3 if statements. First one works with list 1. Again, giving it a callback. Inside the callback, I am expecting is language diverse, given list 1 to be false, right? What about second one? So second one works with list 2. It's like almost identical. You might be wondering, why am I like retyping all of them? Just in my experience, it's easier to follow along if there are no unexpected things. So if you're bored and you just copied everything, so just you can just skip along a little bit the actual solution. And if you're not, just follow along, because that's you know, best thing is to practice. And this is how I practice. I retype a bunch of tests, so I know them like really almost by heart. So works with list 3. I expect is language diverse, list 3 to be true. And finally, last one. You know what? Let's just copy the last one. Let's see if that worked. Yep. So list 4 and list 4. Okay, so we don't need We don't need whatever we have right here. So I'm deleting all of the initial tests, and I think we are good to go. I think we can move to the actual solution. So the actual solution, in my opinion, it's not an easy kata. Okay, so that's definitely one of the hardest in the series. Still, I think one of the most interesting. So that's a good mix. Not hard for like hardness sake, but it's hard because it's interesting. So we are starting, as always, is language diverse by just naming a variable for our function. And this time I'm not solving this kata just using one line. And that's a new thing, because like all the previous ones were like really one-liners. This time I will be using 3 lines. Okay, so that's just showing you how much harder this one is. And first of all, what I'm going to do, how am I going to tackle this problem is, first of all, I know that I have to count how many different languages there are, and then I will just compare if the highest number is 2 times bigger than the smallest, and if so, then it's not language diverse because some language is dominating, and if it's not 2 times, this number is not 2 times higher, so then it is language diverse. Okay, so first of all, my step 1 is to get a count of each kata. Okay, so I do that by just creating a hash, and this hash is going to be shortly named h. So I do that by using reduce, and in this reduce function I'm getting r and v, and my goal is to get an object with which will be saying JavaScript 3, Ruby 5, and Python 1. And I do that by just returning an object. Okay, and this object first of all consists of the previous result, this guy, spread out, and also of r.language, oh my bad, v.language, of v.language, and this property will get a result. The result is going to be not simply, you might expect, okay, so the result is going to be r v.language plus 1, right? So we're increasing the property v.language of the previous r and adding a 1 to that, but it's not that easy because as I'm creating my initial object, right? Initial object is going to be empty, and this empty object, the first time you call this rv language is going to be undefined. That's just not good. So I'm just giving it a default value of 0. That means if it's undefined, then it's 0. If it's not undefined, then it is what it is. So just for the first, for the initialization, we are giving it this value. So we have an object with JavaScript 1, Ruby 3, and so on and so on. That doesn't help us a lot because we actually need the numbers. We don't care if it's JavaScript or whatever. We are not checking if JavaScript is the most popular one. We are just checking if there are no dominant languages. So my idea is to just get the values, just get these numbers. So I get these numbers by using this function, and the function is object dot keys. You might be wondering, okay, so dovydas, you're so stupid. We have a new one. We have object dot values, right? And yes, we actually do have object dot values, but unfortunately it's not implemented in Codewars, even with Babel. So we cannot use that to get the actual values. So we get the values just using this like workaround. So first of all, I get all the keys, right? All the keys are in an array, but I don't need the keys, I need values. So what I'm doing is I'm mapping over the keys, and I got the key and I replace the key with its value. And we get the value by just selecting the h, getting its value, like so. So I have all my values, and it's time to finally solve this kata, right? So I return math min, right? Because I need to make sure that the minimum value is, the minimum value times 2 is greater than the maximum value. And if you're not sure what this does, this just spreads out the array. So because math.min and math.max do not accept arrays as an argument, they just accept individual arguments. So I am obliging. I'm just spreading out my object. My array. And let's run examples. Let's see if that worked. What happened? Okay, 2 arrows. 2 arrows is never a good thing. And looks like, okay, so another bug, not a bug. I haven't selected Babel option, and you cannot spread objects without Babel. And expected false to be true. That's strange. Let's check if it's all right. Third one, is it? So we have 2 JavaScript and Python and Ruby. So it is language diverse. Why we are not getting a correct answer? And yes, I have forgotten that 2 is included. So 2 at most 2 times, that means 2 is included. So let's try to run again. This time it's passing. Let's try the official solution, official test, and official tests are passing. So I hope that you enjoyed this kata. I really enjoyed it. It's probably my favorite of the series, and be sure to check my next katas, and see you in the next kata. Bye friends.